What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here today. We're going to be talking about exotics, going over how you get them, some weird things about engrams you should know, weapons like the Cold Heart, and also previewing some of the ones I've picked up so far. Also, if any of you guys get some cool exotics that I don't have and you're able to either send me HD footage or let me use your PSN account, then you can tweet me. My Twitter is down below in the description. But I'd love to showcase some of your exotics and, of course, credit you. So drop me a tweet if any of you guys get some cool ones. So let's begin by talking about how to actually get exotic engrams, some of the best sources to get them, and also exotic weapons or armor pieces by themselves. So the first major big one is definitely going to be public events, either normal or heroic. Now, I actually got really lucky myself. My first ever public event, I got an exotic engram, just beat the regular Fallen Walker. I didn't even do a heroic because I was level 6 and power level 60, but you don't even need to be a high level. You don't always need to do heroic events either. Obviously, the higher level you are and the more high level activities you do, the greater chance you have of more stuff. But just saying, you don't have to be at a really high level to begin getting exotics. As you can see here, I was level 6, so it begins really early on. Now, talking about the odds of this stuff dropping, at the time I didn't think it was that big of a deal because I thought it was normal to get exotic engrams from events because I got it literally my first ever event in Destiny 2. But since then, I've done probably 40 to 50 public events, half of them heroic, and I got 0 exotic engrams. So it is actually quite rare. I'd say maybe a 1% chance, maybe a 5% with heroic events. But like I said, I haven't seen any difference between normal and heroic so far. Obviously, you get better loot, but exotic seems to be very, very rare, but still obviously possible. That's probably your best chance to get them. And it is also a good way to level up fast. So definitely do public events. Try and do the heroic ones as well because they're really good methods. Now, on top of that, you can do patrols, adventures, and sometimes they do also have a small chance of dropping exotic engrams too. There are also guaranteed ones from certain quests and activities, so you'll probably notice when you go to Titan, you get given one of the exotic armor pieces, you get to pick one for your class. You also notice when you go to IO, if you do that part of the campaign mission, you get given a choice of exotic weapons, so you do get 2 of those guaranteed. There are also some of the fixed ones you can get, like the Mida Mini Tool and the Mida Multi Tool. That is a fixed quest. So there are some that are locked, but most of them are going to be engrams. And then on top of that, you can also get 1 exotic engram for completing the campaign. So however you do it, once you finish the campaign, all story missions, Zavala is going to give you an exotic engram. So that is a guaranteed, easy way, but definitely worth knowing about. So on top of that, you also have, of course, the endgame stuff. Now, this is obviously going to be your best chance at exotics. Things like trials, nightfalls, raids. These are the endgame activities that have the best chances to give you really high-level stuff. And also, of course, Xur. Xur is back in Destiny 2, if you don't know, on the weekend. So same as Destiny 1, on Friday and Saturday, Xur is going to be showing up to one of the 4 actual planets, not the social space, not a tower, not the farm. Xur is going to be inside either the European Dead Zone, Io, Titan, or Nessus. So he's going to be inside the zones. You have to look for him. But here's, of course, another guaranteed way to get exotics. But the important thing to note is that strange coins are no longer a thing. Instead, you buy exotics from Xur with legendary shards. So that material you've got on the top of your screen, that is what you use to buy exotics from Xur. So make sure you aren't spending all of them. Obviously, legendary shards are used to infuse things, but try not to go crazy. And you shouldn't be infusing that much at the beginning of the campaign anyway. You should just be constantly throwing on new blue gear. But in general, try and save some legendary shards because you'll need them to buy exotics from Xur. Now, another exotic I'm asked very frequently about is the Cold Heart exotic trace rifle, the pre-order bonus. Of course, if you pre-order Destiny, you'll get this exotic given to you for free. But everyone's asking how you get it. Simple answer is complete the campaign, do all these story missions, and then you go and get it from the gunsmith. So it's as simple as that. Do the campaign and it'll be given to you. Very simple, very easy, and it's also a really cool exotic. Now, something pretty strange I wanted to mention about exotic engrams in particular. There's something pretty weird that goes on where when you inspect them, you can preview 7 of the possible potential items you can get from it. And also the items seem to rotate and kind of refresh every about 5 minutes or so. So the items will change randomly and kind of preview different items. Now, the important distinction is that these are not representative of what you'll get inside the engram. I initially thought that at first, and I was wondering what was going on, but we figured out this is not actually a preview of what the engram is going to hold. So ignore the previews. It's just kind of like a small sample of what's possible, but these are not the only items. When you look at it, these are not the only 7 items you can get. You can get loads more on top of that. So the preview doesn't determine all 7 exotics that are possible from that engram. So next up, let's take a look at all the exotics I've picked up so far on my character. Like I said, haven't been going massively kind of grindy for the exotics. I've been mainly playing the game, trying to do the campaign missions, trying to get a Night Stalker, doing a lot of stuff on stream, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have been aware of. But I did pick up some exotics along the way. Some of them are pretty cool. Firstly, beginning with the Vigilance Wing. This is, of course, the Pulse Rifle, the Osiris themed one. Nothing to do with trials or anything, simply exotic from the engrams. Now, this is actually the thing I got from that very first engram. So I got this from level 77. As you can see, it's a very low level. Like I said about infusion, I'm not really too fast about infusing this thing because I'm just going to waste it. Like, I'll level up an hour later and it'll already be irrelevant again. So I don't want to constantly waste the legendary shards infusing it. But it's, of course, a very cool weapon. I'll probably do a video showing off some gameplay of this in Crucible, but it is really, really good. I don't want to call it OP, but it's a really good weapon. Again, I'm not sure if it's because everyone else I'm playing with is using like blue and green weapons, but this thing was destroying in Crucible. I was dropping like 30 kills back to back, and these are like 4v4 matches. So this thing I really, really like in Crucible. Of course, the perks are Crucible Focus, so you got Harsh Truths, basically a 5-round burst, and also when a nearby teammate dies, you get health regeneration and increased movement speed. Okay, not too bad. And also Last Stand is basically like Last Resort, improved weapon performance when the wielder is the last living member of a fire team. So this is not really a PvE weapon, although it is also very good there, because there's a 50-round magazine and a 5-round burst. So this thing's really awesome, the Vigilance Wing. Now, next up, you also have in the special weapons, or the energy weapons, with the Graviton Lance. This thing is available from the IO vendor. Simply do the campaign until you get to IO, and then eventually get this thing. This one has Black Hole, so the third shot rips a hole through space-time, doing high damage recoil with no fall-off. So this thing, essentially, the third shot does massively damage. I believe it's 500% or 7 times damage. It does a lot of damage. Also got a bit of kick to it, but the last bullet in the burst, each burst, does a massive amount of damage, which is really cool. You've also got Cosmology, where every single kill basically causes enemies to drop a mini black hole grenade that explodes. It's not massive in terms of damage, but it's cool and does a tiny bit of damage. So Graviton Lance is definitely one of my favorites so far. Now, we also have the Cold Heart. Like I said, you get this from completing the campaign. Now, this one's got some pretty interesting perks. You've got Cold Fusion, shoots a steady beam of cold fusion-powered laser, and also, the longer you hold the weapon on a target, it increases the damage exponentially. So it kind of increases the longer you can keep the beam on one target, and the goal is to try and not get that beam off the target for any second, otherwise it goes back down. But yeah, pretty interesting weapon. Haven't used it massively, but the time I have used it, I've had a lot of fun, so really liking the Cold Heart, and again, you get that once you complete the campaign missions. Now, moving on, we also have the Borealis Sniper. This is the PlayStation exclusive weapon, a sniper rifle. You can change the element of this on the fly. Again, I might do another video showing gameplay of this, exactly what it can do. Played around with it a little bit on the live stream yesterday, but this thing, you hold square to change the weapon type elements. You can choose between solar, arc, and void. It does a little reload animation, so you got to wait a little second, but you can basically change the element. Now, this thing's perk is Ionic Return, so when you break an enemy shield, so matching the same element, it gives you a bullet into the magazine from the reserve, so pretty helpful. So every single time, basically an extra bullet in the magazine. And I got this one from an exotic engram, again, the one I got from the campaign. Simply drop this weapon from it. Now, moving on to the armor piece, I've only got one over here, the Radiant Flux, which I'm sure most of you guys have. You get this pretty early in the campaign once you reach Titan, and this is an amazing chest piece. This is really, really good for the Arcstrider. Possibly one of the best ones for the Arcstrider as a whole, but this one basically increases the damage and also duration of the super the more kills you get. And not even just kills, also hits as well. So just constantly swipe enemies, and then you get more damage and also increased duration. And like I said, the duration isn't a joke. It does really increase it. So for this, imagine the Mask of the Third Man from Destiny 1, but even better. This is literally so much better than Mask of the Third Man, where Arc Blade gives you more energy. This is much better than that. Plus, you also get bonus damage, and it does, again, it's no joke. I honestly didn't expect Arcstrider to be that great in PvE. I thought it would be pretty bad, same as Blade Dancer, but this one makes up for it. It makes the damage really impressive. I've just melted bosses just by hitting them, get the Synapse Junctions perk on, ×3, and then you just shred through bosses, and it lasts a really long time. So this thing, honestly, probably the best exotic I've come across so far. And if you're still at the point where you haven't done the missions yet and you haven't got to Titan, definitely pick this one. If you're an Arcstrider, pick the Radiant Flux, you will not regret it. Now, the exotics don't stop there. I do actually have an exotic emote, believe it or not. There are now exotic emotes in Destiny 2. This one dropped from a bright engram randomly, so it's just RNG. Didn't buy it, it's just one of those ones that Test gives you. But this, as you can see, forms these holographic bottles, and then my kind of gunslinger hunter just shoots them down. So I really like this. Definitely fitting as a hunter as well, but this is my one and only exotic emote. So in total, there are 4. If you go to Test Everest and preview the bright engrams, you can see all 4. We have this one called Salty, which is basically the salt meme, and he's sprinkling all this kind of glittery salt everywhere. You've also got the second one, which is Flip Out. This one was seen before in early gameplay. This one's basically spawning a table, and then he flips it again. It's kind of like a hologram. All these ones seem to be holographic, so I'm definitely excited to see what the future holds. You can imagine there's going to be a lot of exotic kind of holographic emotes in the future. Now, you've also got the Spicy Ramen. This one basically spawns a bowl of spicy ramen. He makes it pretty weird, but again, with the holograms. But this is the third one. The fourth one is that gunslinger one called Six Shooter, which I currently have, where you spawn a bunch of bottles and you shoot them down. So there you go. Those are 4 exotic emotes. Definitely a new thing. Now, on top of that, there are also some new exotic ships as well. There's a ton of exotics. I don't think they look that crazy different from the legendary ones. I mean, maybe it's just me, but they look okay, but definitely not exotic if you ask me. And you've also got sparrows as well. There's some exotic sparrows you can see here. I'm yet to get an exotic sparrow. I do have a couple legendary ones from Eververse, but these ones do have kind of special effects and transmit animations, so you can kind of get a bit of a benefit. I think some of the exotic sparrows are definitely much better than the exotic ships, but there you go. Now, there's also, of course, weapon ornaments. Each exotic weapon does have 1 ornament slot, which you can put these in. Of course, they're only earned from Eververse, so you do have to kind of buy them or try and grind the game and hopefully get bright engrams. But same as Destiny 1, they look really, really good, and they're probably very rare. I'm yet to get any myself. I've opened maybe 5 bright engrams, but these things look absolutely amazing. As you can see, some of them look pretty weird, but some of them also look very, very nice. But there you go, a bunch of exotics. Hopefully this has been useful information to you. If you found it useful, a like rating would be much appreciated. Of course, doing a ton more videos and a ton more live streams on this channel. So if you aren't already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on. Press the bell so you get a notification every time I upload or go live. But like I said, if any of you get some cool exotics you want to share me, then be sure to tweet me down below in the description. If you want to watch some more Destiny 2 content from me, then click the image on screen right now. And I'll see you guys in the next Destiny 2 video.